Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us at Jackrabbit Illustrated tonight. We would like to mention that the following program contains the possibility of bad language, inappropriate comments, and hosts with the propensity to wander off topic. Those of us at Jackrabbit Illustrated would like to thank you for joining us and would like to thank our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. With 9 dealerships across the great state of South Dakota, with all the equipment you may need for your home, acreage, or farming operation, there's always a Kubota dealer ready to provide you with the parts, service, and sales you need. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to what you came for.
Scared money don't make money, right?
That's right, folks. Scared Money Don't Make Money. The spin-off show from the B Team with Ben and Brendan making their picks against the spread just like old times, with the addition of Alex Kenkel and his computer model that is featured weekly on JackrabbitIllustrated.com. As usual, the B Team and all Jackrabbit Illustrated podcasts are live on the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and Twitter pages, along with being live on the FCS Fans Nation YouTube channel. Also, if you don't catch us live, be sure to tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or any major podcast outlet in between.
Scared Money Don't Make Money is thrilled to have their show sponsor be Cubby Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. With the best beer and food in town and more TVs than wall space, Cubby Sports Bar and Grill is your Jackrabbit headquarters to watch any game, home or away. The B Team is also thrilled to announce their segment sponsor, Blue Tide Car Wash of Brookings, Mitchell, Sioux Falls, and now Hartford, as well as all the other get-and-go locations in South Dakota.
Our second segment sponsor is Hadrick Ranch. For the best beef you've ever tasted, go to hadrickranch.com. They'll ship it to you. And lastly, thank you to our segment sponsor, Innovative Engineering Solutions. Contact them for all your HVAC, plumbing, fire protection, automated control systems, and energy conservation needs. I'm Batman. Or Dracula. Or both. I'm Bat Dracula Man.
Well, we have our first, I think, Scared Money Don't Make Money with a guest. I don't know if we've ever had one.
No, we had Rev on once, naturally.
He doesn't count as people. We are thrilled to have with us from Snapback Sports, Jack Settleman. Thanks for joining us tonight. You guys are coming out for the big matchup. We're getting right into it right away instead of our normal screwing around, because we got a lot, man, especially with it being marker week. So, and Ben said we can only go 10 minutes this time, so we've got to really lock it in. But Jack Settleman joining us from Snapback Sports. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I'm not good with words anyways. So
we haven't even hit the tailgates yet on Saturday, and we're already slurring our words.
Yeah, wait till then. I don't have a child sleeping at that, so I'm usually quite a bit louder. I've been told that I get too loud with the wife. But thanks for joining us, man. You guys switched from, you guys go to a game every week, right? And it's for trying to find the best atmosphere in college football at the time. And you guys switched from LSU to the Dakota Marker game. How about you let us know how that came to be, kind of what you guys do at Snapback Sports, let everybody know. And yeah, tell us how that all happened.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the natural progression of college football? Is you plan on going to the SEC, then you go to the SEC of the FCS, because that's just what you're supposed to do. Last year we launched Snapback Saturdays, where we go to a college football game every week, looking for the best experience in college football. After last year's success, this year, when we told all these schools we were coming, the majority of them were like, oh, we'll invite you in, we'll show you around. Like, we want to get a good score. Like, we can't be tampered with. We call it how it is. But at the same time, you invite your guests over, you serve filet or you serve, chips, you're just going to have a naturally better experience. And so the majority of schools were locked into LSU and the SEC of FBS, not FCS. They didn't welcome us in, which is not a problem. We actually enjoy taking an approach where we just go as casual fans as well. But with all the chatter around Brian Kelly and not being locked into Baton Rouge, I proposed to the team. I was like, if what we do is find the best experience in college football, and there's all this pushback from College Game Day and Big Noon about just going to the same places, should we look? And so we looked at Vandy, we looked at IU, which is where Big Noon's going, and then a lot of people said you got to look up into the Dakotas. Now, we were we are still planning on visiting, Ron Lowney and the boys for Montana State. So we'll be in Missoula. So we were like, is it too close? But, we got a game of the century. We're 1 versus 2. We got the Dakota marker rivalry. And so we actually debated for like 48 hours. We got on a bunch of calls with the team discussing pros, cons. And at the end of the day, we were like, let's go see something that the pulse of college football needs to see. And I don't think Vandy was a bad pick. I think Georgia Ole Miss last week was a joke. Like that was objectively a joke. I think going to Vandy was perfectly fine. And I do think it's funny that as I post about College Game Day making a mistake, people are like, they've actually gone to North and South Dakota State more than they've even gone to Vandy. So like, respect to the Dakotas there. But yeah, it's obvious that, I'm not stupid. People got to make money, and ESPN and the SEC are in bed, and Fox and the Big Ten are in bed. But like, college football is college football because of this podcast, because of you sickos who are literally recording this podcast, late at night while you probably have a million better things to do. And once again, Ron Lowney is just blowing up the comment section. That's college football to me. And I'm not sure that, the others have remained true to who they are. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, it was an easy choice because you see the reaction and you see the appreciation from the fan base of, hey, come show us a good time. Now, I'll remind everyone, if it sucks in Brookings, you guys are going to hear about it. So you better, show up and show out.
You know how much I'm worried about that, Jack?
How much?
About 0.
Okay. All right. And that's what we want to see. And by the way, Vandy, I think, is going to be a great atmosphere and great experience. But I don't know if they're going to have the juice. I know, similar to you, that the juice is going to be there on Saturday, all day Saturday. So, yeah, I'm pumped for it, excited to see it. And my first time in South Dakota.
Well, we're pumped to have you out here. It will have the juice. This rivalry just has gone from and everybody's starting to finally admit it. It used to be we're respectful rivals, and that was the big mantra because we moved up to FCS together, left our scumbag rivals behind us and they refused to play us at the time, and it has turned into it's not so friendly anymore. They were just asking, we've got a player who's a coach on the team now. They asked him, hey, on the radio, the coach's show, hey, the rivalry, it's really, really stepped up a notch. It's really respectful, right? And he just looks at him and he goes, it's pretty heated. And the host goes, Tyler Merriam goes, but it's respectful, right? And he goes, it's pretty heated.
That's classic because when we talked to the South Dakota State football comms guy, and we were trying to understand, this rivalry on a deeper level, and they were saying the same thing. They were like, if we had to, we would root for each other. We came up together. We don't want to lose them. And I'm like, show me the real fucking fans. I don't want to hear this PR bullshit about how this is a rivalry. Like, what are we talking about here? If you play in the playoffs every single year, like the Cavs and the Warriors, right? They have no reason to be rivals. They became rivals. And the fact that, a little line separates these two schools and states, how could you not have a little hatred in your heart?
Not just a line, a bunch of rocks, and we get to play for one of those rocks on Saturday.
I couldn't, when they described the trophy, I couldn't even conceptualize it. And I know it's hidden behind us 4 on the screen right now, but I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow and get some reps in just so hopefully I can lift it. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. They literally just put rocks in the sand and that separates the two states?
Yeah, giant ones. They're big.
This is the trophy is 60 pounds. I don't know if you guys have held it before, but usually they'll bring it through tailgating and you'll get to pick it up. And, but the real life ones I'm pulling this number completely out of there, but they're like 7-8 times that size buried in the ground.
Wow. Yeah, they're like 7 feet tall or something.
And so this may be nuanced, but you guys play in the playoffs pretty much every year now. is the winner of the regular season game holds the trophy, or if you lost regular season but won in playoffs, would the other team still hold the trophy?
No.
Okay, that's how it should be, in my opinion.
Which has never happened though. The
Really?
team that's won in the regular season has won. No, that's not true.
No,
Never mind.
that's not true.
Because 2016, how could I forget that?
Yeah. If you want a real flavor for it, our former coach Jimmy Rogers, they did an article in ESPN on the rivalry, and they asked him about running to get the trophy, and his quote was, "I don't know. I've never done it. I would rather watch them walk off the field without it."
And that's a guy that was in the program when the trophy was introduced up until last year.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some smoke there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So we're excited that you're coming out. I'm glad you agreed to jump on with us here.
Yeah, appreciate having you guys on. What's funny is when game day chose not to come here, I was thinking to myself, man, it'd be so cool because there's so many other like cool stories out there and cool atmospheres to like have, the means to go around and do, your own college game day thing. And it's not quite what you guys are doing, but I love what you guys are doing. And I love you, giving some shine to a place like Brookings. And I think you'll have a good time.
I can't wait. No, I appreciate that. That's part of, what we want to do is, like I said, stick with the man of the people. We want to be with the true college football fans, and looking at you three sickos on my screen right now, there's no doubt in my mind that we're gonna have a good time. So I saw in the comment section everyone wants at least 2 hours tonight. I know I'm only booked in for 10, so you guys are just getting started. And shout out my guy Ron. I'll see you in Missoula in a month from now. All right.
Perfect. All right. Well, appreciate having you on.
See you this weekend.
See you guys on Saturday.
See you this weekend.
Sounds good.
And if anybody wants to follow him, go to @snapback_sports on Twitter. He also has his own Twitter handle under his name. But so that's exciting. We got that coming this weekend, but we have yet another guest on the show.
Even more exciting, I think.
Even more exciting. The one and only. I give him crap all the time without him being on here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's coming on.
I know. Alex's best friend. The one and only Timothy Rosario. Timothy, I'm 100% sure I've asked you this in person, but I need to re-ask you. Do you prefer Timothy or Tim, or is that just Zach McKinnell being Southern and saying somebody's entire name every time?
So I always introduce myself as Timothy because my mom insisted on it. Like this is like nightmare stuff when you're a kid, right? Like your football coach is out there calling you Tim, and your mom steps onto the practice field and tells him that, no, his name's Timothy.
No, she didn't.
She did. Yeah. So, it just got so like seared into my brain. That's how I normally introduce myself. So, but if you call me Tim, I'm not going to get mad. I've been called a lot of things. So
Timothy, it is there. I don't need Mama Rosario coming and hunting me down. So we're good with Timothy.
We've always wanted to do this. First and foremost, how we feeling?
Feel good.
Channel Lander, Zach McKinnell there.
I know. Listen, Zach is he nails it every time. Same thing. He does so much podcasting now and recording. It's probably just seared into his brain.
He's just smooth as butter, man. That guy, he's the picture of smooth. That little Southern drawl he's got going on.
For people that don't know you, Timothy, why don't you tell people what you do and who you're with?
Yeah, so I am over here in Reno, Nevada, quite west of everybody that I normally end up interacting with. But I'm been with Zach McKinnell over now at FCS Football Central on SI. We do the Blue Bloods as the show. It's been a ton of fun. I got I'm a weird FCS guy because I don't really have any affiliation to any of the schools other than my dad went to Eastern Washington. But it was kind of a journey to get here, and I love football. I love football a lot, and Green Wave, let's go. Yep. And so it's been a fun ride. It's been fun to get to know everybody, and love getting to interact with whether it's online or stuff like this.
And you're a stats sicko like Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a math guy, a stats guy ever since I was a kid. So I see a spreadsheet and I can't help it.
I love it. Well, I'm an engineer, so I can appreciate that.
There you go.
All right. Well, now that we've introduced Timothy, let's go ahead and recap the picks from last week. Brendan was riding all. Oh, go ahead.
We need a sponsor. We do need a
sponsor. You do that while I pull them up.
Of course, we talked about at the start of every show with our intro. We talked about all our sponsors, but of course, we have our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. Get yourself into some orange equipment. They're always a location near you with 9 locations. Our show sponsor is Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, the #1 sports bar in the state of South Dakota. 30,000 TVs, Chislik beer, burgers, nachos. There's not a better place to be on game day. If you can't get into the Jacks game because them tickets are scarce, even spendy. Secondhand market is like, people are setting prices at like, what would it cost me to not go to this? How much money do you have to pay me to not go?
What would your number be?
This is going to pay my mortgge. Well, I'll put it this way.
One month's payment or the whole thing?
The whole thing. So here's the deal. For the 2018 game in Fargo, I believe we won that one as well. I think it was the 2018 game. No, maybe it wasn't 2018. It might have been 2016.
16 was the Winnipeg game.
I don't know. One of those games up in Fargo. I spent over $300 a ticket, $350 a ticket for nosebleed tickets just to get in. So, considering where my tickets are, front row on the goal line, yeah, that'd be. You have to pay me enough money that I got a lot of cash and I can afford another ticket off the time.
Love it. All right. Do we finish the ad read? I interrupted you.
You muted yourself.
Oof.
I did.
Once again, I did it
Brendan
again.
did.
Damn.
Good. I wasn't looking at the screen.
Our segment sponsor, of course, is Blue Tide Car Wash in Brookings, Sioux Falls, Hartford, and Mitchell. 19 locations across Sioux Falls, all over southeastern South Dakota. They've got the tunnel washes, they've got the touchless washes, they've got anything you might need in between. Get yourself one of their monthly passes and really get your money's worth out of getting a car wash instead of spending $12 to $14 now. What car washes cost, and spending, I spend $36 on 3 when you could spend $30 and wash as many times as you want. So there it is. That's the end of that.
Perfect.
So there.
Appreciate
now we're done.
it. All right. Pick recap. Brendan thought he was riding high last week, but he did the worst this week.
Oh, by one game.
Well, you did 2 worse.
You're painting it like I was 1-6.
I got 2 back on you. Whatever. Anyway, we had Tarleton winning 45-10, covering easy. NDSU winning 38-7 and covering. USD barely winning 17-14 against UNI and not covering. Youngstown State winning 40-35, covering. UND winning 38-19 and covering. SDSU winning 35-14 and not covering. And I didn't pause like I said I was going to. Alex, you said you wanted to touch on a couple of those games.
No, you're fine. Yeah, just especially since no write-up this week, because those that haven't heard me complain about it enough yet, I'm out of the game this week and I'm going on vacation. So I shouldn't complain about that. But
well, then you definitely need to get to a write-up.
But just getting some stuff around the house, I'm not going to get to that tonight. So talk about that. I think there's 2 things. The first one, and Timothy, you're our guest. You and Zach talked about some of the stuff. Feel free to jump in here too. I think the Youngstown Illinois State game, we kind of learned a couple things about both teams, as you usually do. If I can stop speaking in generalizations, Youngstown showed their gritty, and we'll talk about Cole Payton, I'm sure, plenty as we go here. But, oh, my gosh, Bo Brunkert should almost be the front runner for the Peyton Award. 530 all-purpose yards, 4 total touchdowns, and Youngstown had like 580 some yards of total offense. So like 60 yards in the entire game were not accounted for. For those that didn't watch, they were up like 12-7 at half, down like 28-18, headed to the fourth, and won 40-35. So it was cool game, fun game. Starting to really get worried about Illinois State's defense on that note.
Youngstown's a feisty
favorite team.
Yeah.
Youngstown's a feisty team. Do you know who they play next week?
I do, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But
Go ahead, Timothy. You had some?
No, I was just going to say. Go ahead, Timothy.
I was just going to say the best part about Bo Brungard is, I don't know if you noticed, but for a guy that runs as often as he does, he's really smart about the way that he does it.
Yes.
Like, he just doesn't take a lot of big hits, like, and you would think that he would. He's really good at like either getting out of bounds or like coming at somebody at the angle, which he's just not going to like take as much punishment as you would think he would. Really impressive. But you know, I think that's really the only way that they can like keep that going, because I mean, it's an insane pace that he puts out.
There was one other one you wanted to touch on, Alex?
Yeah, and then the UND Southern Illinois game. UND, they're looking good, but Timothy, you and I had actually talked about this earlier in the week. Not that anyone is crowning him, but I'm stopping short just because Jerry Kaminsky, I don't want to take anything away. He's played tremendous for a first-year starter.
He's going to take something away from him right now.
He is not done well and need to have it situations throwing the football. If you go even back to the end of that Montana game, there were some opportunities to move the chains and put that football game away, and he kind of squirreled it away. So I'm really curious as they get into the meat of their schedule here. If you get a team, especially obviously an NDSU, SDSU, that's got a good rush defense, what does that look like from Jerry Kaminsky when, okay, it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, what's going on now? That sort of thing. And then on the other side, Southern Illinois, they're still moving the ball well, but man, these lack of efficiency on money downs and turnovers are really starting to catch up from the last couple games here. And that could obviously be a problem as we go down the stretch here. And I'm kind of curious if they can clean that up at all. DJ Williams is still playing well, but it's just you can move the ball so much, but at the end of the day, you got to get points out of it. You can't be selling for field goals. You can't be failing to get it on 4th down. Can't be throwing picks. Can't be fumbling it. It's just what it is.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But to recap this week, the model went 3-3. Brendan went 3-3. Alex went 4-2. And I went 5-1. And on the year, the model's barely in the lead at 40-25. I'm right behind at 39-26. Brendan is ahead of Alex at 33-32. Alex is 31-34.
Chipped away this week.
I heard that's
why he's got a shit grin on his face. He's like, "Yeah, I'm good at this. Watch this."
Yeah,
I heard Timothy has a pretty good record against the spread himself. Although, are you, Timothy? Do you get to choose the games you pick? Because we don't get to choose. We have to pick every Missouri Valley game no matter what.
Okay.
And every ranked game.
So I pick every week the games, and it's usually like 13 to 15. And like, I guess technically I'm picking them, but I'm not picking them based off of how good I feel about the spread.
Yeah.
It's the top games of the week. Like, so it's all the ranked games. It's all the top conference games. And it's, listen, we pick Pioneer games. We pick NEC games. Like, but so my record is good. I am still trailing Zach though, which he's been a machine, man. Like, my goodness.
Dude, you guys are maniacs against the spread. What is your record right now against the spread?
My record is 76-46, and his record is 76-42.
Unbelievable.
So just keep losing by like 1 game.
That is impressive. All right, next up we've got JAI. While I get that ready, Brendan's going to read the sponsor for that.
Oh, our JIAI sponsor is Hadrick Ranch. Hadrick Ranch is the place to get yourself some beef. If you can't get your hands on some good local beef, say you're in Reno, Nevada, and you don't want dusty desert burgers, get yourself some Hadrick's beef. They ship for free anywhere in the country, anywhere in the continental United States. They ship for free anyways. They do truly have incredible quality beef. They supply one of the steakhouses down here in Sioux Falls. They supply the hamburger for the Jacked Up Burger at Cubby's. They supply the brisket at Rub and Tug Barbecue in Brookings. Really, really, really incredible stuff. I've had some, I've gotten beef from a farmer, from a rancher before, and it was good, but it had a little bit of not gamey, but it almost kind of a gamey flavor to it to me. And this just has none of it. It's just so good. I've talked about it before. The brisket I cooked for our brisket cook-off was cheating, because I've never seen a brisket have marbling like a steak all the way through the brisket. Like they raise such good beef. It's incredible. So Hadrick's Ranch, get a hold of them, hadrickranch.com on Google. They've got all their packages on there that you can pick from. They've got a tailgating package, all the stuff to get yourself the best beef money can buy. I don't know what it's rated, choice or prime. Nobody cares. It's way better than whatever prime stuff you think you have.
We did some pressure cooker short ribs this week. I had those left from our bundles, and that was like, by the time you got a good marinade on there and in the pressure cooker, you're pulling the bone out of the pressure cooker, and you were just getting bone, and to go the actual rib with the fork. It's that good of stuff.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, before I do JIA, I do have to shout out Michael Batts. We've missed you. And
Mike, yes,
I did not know. He mentioned earlier that Murray State's 6-0 against the spread. That was news to me.
Good teams win, great teams cover, Mike, and you guys are great.
That's right. And he mentioned something about how they'll be good if they stick together, and we agree. I don't know if he said it on the podcast or somewhere, but we were talking about how if they stick together, they will be good eventually. So thank you for joining us again. Now that we've done that, let's go into Timothy. Are you that much of a sicko that you actually watch our show all the way through, or do you just kind of peruse a little bit? Have you ever seen a JIAI segment?
We won't be insulted.
It depends on the week. But usually I always watch it.
Well,
sometimes I fast forward. Sometimes I'm like, all right, these guys are going to talk for like 25 minutes before they actually get to the game. So I just slide it right along.
So, like when Brendan starts talking, you just hit like skip ahead 5 minutes.
But
I got nothing. I can't even defend against that.
But I have seen the JIAI.
Oh, nice. All right.
Unintended benefit of the Mensch greenhouse timer. It tells all the non-JI sickos when to fast forward through the show.
That's true. Oh. When they see it go away, they're like, all right, it's safe again. That's
not wrong. It's not. It does. It stings. It really makes you not want to do it anymore, but we're getting paid to do it.
I mean, there's only one way that you go for 2.5 hours on Saturday night, and it's that. So
it's not 2.5. No.
Oh, yes, it is. All right.
No.
We're back with the old slide, or the covers. I don't even know what this cover slide, whatever.
Rey Mysterio.
These are all marker week themed. We've got the Jackrabbit and the Bison fighting over the marker, using it as a weapon. And new this week to JIAI, we are using Sora now, which I hate. Or did I use Sora before? I don't know. But I...
Give it up, Rabbit! Not a chance, Bison. Yeah! And that's ball game. Trophy's ours, folks.
So we had that one.
That is.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I thought it wasn't too bad. We've got a couple more here because I was having fun today.
Well, that's not something you see every day. A Bison just wandered onto the turf here in Brookings.
And here come the Jackrabbits! Listen to this crowd erupt! That noise is a little too much for our unexpected visit.
All right, the last one is my favorite, and it was actually inspired by Lauren Bell. I have to shout him out. He had a AI of teacher teaching kids how to do ears up. So here we go.
All right, everybody, watch close. 2 fingers up, just like little ears. This is ears up. Now fold those pinkies and pointers down, horns down. Got it? Now remember, kids, ears up, horns down, and
There's our one.
There we go.
All right.
All right, let's get into the picks. What is our pick segment sponsored by?
I wasn't ready for that.
Innovative
I'm
engineering.
trying.
Do we have a pick segment sponsor? I think we do.
Yeah,
Innovative engineering.
Oh,
That's you.
thank you. Innovative Engineering. Well, let me tell you about them. If you're planning a new commercial building, restaurant, or retail space in Sioux Falls, turn to Innovative Engineering Solutions. They specialize in mechanical engineering design, HVAC, plumbing, sanitary waste. And whether you're building from the ground up or retrofitting existing space, their team brings precision, creativity, and performance to every project. Visit innovative-engr.com to learn more. Thank you, Innovative Engineering Solutions. With that, let's get to the picks. Excited to have another picker on the pick segment here.
Far
First
more
of all,
knowledgeable than us.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
You heard it here first when you go to listen to Blue Bloods tomorrow. Inside scoop.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're scooping his own show. He's like, you idiots, wait till you get to the last pick. And I go, you're gonna have to listen to the Blue Bloods.
Right.
Love it. All right, we've got only Missouri Valley games this week because there are no other ranked matchups. We have Indiana State going to UND. UND is favored by a whopping 30 points. Alex, what does the model say?
Postal Service by 29.6. 29.6. So it's going to take Indiana State to cover, and I disagree. It's in the Alaris. UND is a wagon right now, even though I just got done crap talking Jerry Kaminsky. I didn't crap talk him. I know someone's going to try to spin it that way.
You did.
I know it'll be interesting to see. The thing, if you're looking for a storyline to watch in this game, is Gavin Zebar sounds like collarbone issue from some of the stuff going around social media. Done for the rest of the regular season, most likely. He's been there. He's one of those guys that feels like he's been there since 2015. He's their short yardage back. He gets a lot good load share, so it's going to be a good test for who either they can bring in to split up some of those carries, or if Sawyer Seidel can shoulder that load himself.
I am going to go with UND to cover on this one. You know how many times they've been held under 35? Not 30, 35 points this year?
Once.
And it wasn't Kansas State. It was at Montana.
Missoula.
Yeah, it was in Missoula. They got held one time under 35 points, and that makes me feel pretty good about them covering with that defense they have against Indiana State. So give me the Fighting Hawks to cover on this one.
I'll agree. It's a ton of points, but Indiana State's not good. UND's feeling good right now, and I think they're going to take every opportunity to prove that they are that team. So UND by 30 or more. Timothy, what do you got?
I was just thinking, actually, in that game in Missoula too, they had 2 red zone trips where they came away with 0 points too. So, really, they probably should have had well over 30. I'm feeling kind of scared now because my kind of thought going into this game is that there's so many just difficult Valley games coming up. They have the 2 huge ones obviously coming up at home. I kind of think this is going to be hey, we're going to run the ball and get out of here. Try to stay healthy. I could see like a 35-7 game where there's a lot of backups playing. I'm going to take the trees to cover just because I think the approach from UND is going to be a little bit more conservative, and they just don't really have all that much to play for.
I don't know. They have another cupcake on their schedule next week before NDSU comes to town.
Yes.
Keep everybody healthy.
Keep everybody healthy.
USD?
That USD game.
Yes, it is. All right. Next up,
it.
we've got Murray State, the 6-0 against the spread. Murray State going to Youngstown State, and Youngstown State's favored by 23.
computer says Youngstown by 21.8, so it's going to take the Racers to go 7-0 against the spread. I don't know. It's one of those things where could this be a game where Youngstown State's defense finally starts clicking a little bit? At the same time, Murray State moved the ball against us. We did a good job of making sure they don't come away with points, but they moved it between the 20s pretty efficaciously.
Ooh, big word. Look
Okay.
at you.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay,
He shows up and he brings out
$5.
the big word.
Wow. Yeah, he's feeling the pressure.
I should be picking after Brendan and Ben so I can make games, but I'll take Murray to cover. Michael
pick for
Batts,
you.
Faith in Michael Batts and the Racers to go 7-0 against the spread.
Yeah, I'm not. I promise I'm not tailing you to keep a lead. I'm taking Murray State as well. Youngstown State's just had a couple tough games in a row. Next week, Youngstown State has NDSU. I mean, this just screams trap game. Murray State's they have talent at wide receiver. We saw that they can throw the ball through the air. Youngstown State is not good at covering the pass, so I'm going to go ahead and take Murray to cover. I don't think they win, but this is the trappiest of trap games. You come off a ranked matchup that you just come away with by 5 points against Illinois State, and then you've got NDSU the week after. This screams trap game. So yeah, give me Murray State to cover.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Bo obviously had a huge workload last week. He's going to have a huge workload against NDSU. I mean,
yeah.
What are they going to do other than just run them like 35 times? So I think the Racers cover. Youngstown State better not get too cute though. You got to win this game.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I think Murray State's offense is good enough. I think they'll cover 23 here. Alex, did you pick Youngstown State? Or no, you picked Murray.
No.
All right, Murray across the board.
I will say this: we've seen Youngstown before where they've tried with Mercyhurst to not do the Bo Brungard game, and then they decide they have to. It just turned it like that kid. It's not like, oh, he's cold and has to get in a rhythm. It's like, okay, it's Bo Brungard time now, and he's just doing it.
Yeah.
And so I'm confident they win. I don't think they cover.
I would agree with that. Next up, we've got Northern Iowa going to Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois is favored by 16 at home. And Alex, why don't you go last?
Okay.
I'll go.
Although I don't necessarily agree with this. You have a whole ass model that's guiding your picks. Brendan and I are just pulling them out of our rear ends.
Just off of all this knowledge, baby, that we got built up. Alex is out here tabulating spreadsheets and such. I'll go.
Models.
I'll go.
No, okay.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I don't even want your model's assistance. I'm gonna do this all on my own because I'm a big brave boy.
He's a big boy.
I'm a great big boy. With it being at Southern Illinois, UNI's offense is still inept as can be, which is not ideal when you're facing the Southern Illinois offense. I think they're going to be looking for a get-right game. Their season isn't over, but if they lose to UNI, it is.
Yeah.
So this is not a good spot for UNI to get their Valley win. So I do think Southern Illinois covers this at home. The way their offense just leaves that defense on the field all the time, you can't do that against Southern Illinois. So give me Southern Illinois to cover at home.
And we've talked about it the last 2 weeks that UNI defense is so much better than even the advanced numbers will tell you, because they are playing 90, 100 snaps a game.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to give up yards and points when you have to do that.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead,
No,
Timothy.
sorry. I think that they probably break, third quarter. And Southern Illinois is going to want to exercise some demons here after the last couple of weeks. They can't really afford to. If this was in a different situation in the schedule, maybe Southern Illinois coming off a couple wins, maybe I would maybe go the other way. But I mean, they need this one bad. So I think they extend the lead late, and I'm just not sure UNI has the offense to really do much about it.
I agree. I think SIU uses this as a get right game, and they win big. I think 17 or 16 is a gift here. So, Alex, what does the model have to say?
Says Egyptian dogs by 12.9. So it will actually take the Panthers to cover on the road, which is just horrible. Yeah, give me Southern Illinois for all the stuff you guys said and then some. Exercising demons. UNI's offense is bad. Yeah.
We are such squares. Brendan, Alex, and I have taken all of the home favorites by a combined total of 69 points across 3 games.
Nice.
That's so many points to eat. But
I'm hungry. I do want to say, if you were to create a non-Dakota Valley super team, I would take UNI's defense with Southern Illinois' offense. That'd be a hell.
Yeah.
That'd be a
There
damn
you
good
go.
team.
There you go.
if only that was possible.
That'd probably be like the number 7 or number 8 team.
The only other real interesting game we've got this week in the Missouri Valley is Illinois State going to USD. And I was so surprised at the spread because USD spreads have been very small. They're favored by 5.5 at home against Illinois State.
So this is like, this is the opposite of the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, right? Like this is the this is the force that can't go with the USD offense against the very movable object of Illinois State's defense.
Take the over.
My goodness, what's going to happen?
I look at this game. I'm doing what I always do for a USD game, and I'm checking how the run defense is for the other team, because if it's not god awful, USD's probably not scoring a ton of points. And Illinois State's got the number 46 rush defense in the country. However, that being said, and this is definitely not superstition at work and trying to jinx anybody, I do think USD finds a way to cover that. Illinois State's offense against solid to good defenses just hasn't been that impressive. And
USD's defense isn't that good though.
It's not, but it's at home in the Dakota Dome. And so I'm going to take the Mangy Dogs. I think they win by a touchdown at the end of the game.
I think I'll take Illinois State. I don't think USD has it. And so I'm going to take the points here and hope that Illinois State can keep it close.
Well, there's one thing you can always rely on USD. If it's the week you think that they're done, like before they really get into the tough schedule, but they start to face some middling teams, they're going to pull something out of their ass. So I think they could. Anyway.
True. To that point, this is like almost an elimination game. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
USD might get in at 7-5 because they will have to.
Oh, you didn't let Tim go, and now he left.
Now he's sad. Sorry, I just want to get that thought out. 7-5 means they've got wins over UND, SDSU, Southern Illinois, and Illinois State. They've got wins over 2 of those, so they might get in at 7-5. But Illinois State, if they lose one more, they're fried.
Yep.
Timothy, why don't you go ahead and educate us more?
Yeah. So, Illinois State, is almost certainly not going to run the table after this. So their schedule is not good. Like they don't have really good wins at all. You have the close game to North Alabama. So if they don't win here, it's probably it. I think this probably comes down to Tommy Rittenhouse. Like, is he going to be able to run around and make those throws? Is he going to be able to avoid the bad decisions? Because that's really what killed him last week, is like 2 really dumb interceptions, like in an otherwise, fairly good game for him. But without Sobkowitz, that makes it a lot harder. Now they have other guys. It's not like he's the only receiver, but he's the only special receiver. I don't know. USD, I think they do have a decent defense. I think it's better than Illinois State's. It's better than Southern Illinois, which is not, I guess, saying a whole lot. But But then I go back to it, and it's like anytime USD's played a decent team, they basically score between 13 and 17 points. So like, what am I really gonna go with that? Like, I'm gonna take Illinois State to cover. I'm not confident on who's gonna win it. I think it might be a field goal either way.
So I just pulled open series conversion rate numbers because I got that tab open too. You want to guess where those three teams rank anybody in the Valley in defensive series conversion rate?
Last and second to last.
No, they're not that bad, but they are 6, 7, 8, but they are all well below the NCAA average and 2 points below the Valley average is USD at the best. No, I'll mirror exactly what you're saying there, Timothy. I think it's hard to pick who wins, but I think it's close enough. Illinois State covers. Get the model pick before I hammer too much. Model actually has the Oats by a little over a touchdown, so it's going to take the Oats to cover.
The models still like USD. I don't really understand why. I'd have to dig into that.
I don't either.
I don't know. The Reddit model hated USD up until this week for some reason.
Yeah.
But the Reddit model is what it is.
I think this is once again, I should stop before I put out too much bulletin board material. I think this is going to be an interesting game because, like we talked about, it could be a high scoring game. Just from the matter of fact, I don't think USD can consistently down to down stop Illinois State, and I don't know that Illinois State might have LJ Phillips bottled up for 2-3 quarters, but they're just going to lean on him and they'll crack, and all of a sudden he's going to pop a couple in the second half. That's what's going to happen. So, be an interesting one to watch.
So you taking who to cover?
I'll take Illinois State to cover, but as far as money line,
just confused by your last point there.
Flip a coin.
Wasn't sure. All right. Last but certainly not least, a game of the week across the nation. The Snapback Sports guys were calling it the game of the century, I think.
Yeah. Fellas, this happened last year.
It's like
the third time.
John Gaskin's drink, but everyone, anytime there's 1 versus 2, they want to go back to the 70s, Oklahoma, Nebraska, when they were number 1 and 2 and make that comparison. And so that was the actual game of the century.
Well, it's because of how rare it is, right?
Right.
To actually have 1 and 2. And I mean, this is a record. It's the most times that teams have met as 1 and 2. And I think somebody had posted it on Twitter, and I retweeted it. I should have had it pulled up. It's like 15 games straight where both teams have been top 10, and like 23 straight with them being top 25.
Incredible.
I promise you, there's no rivalry in college football that matches that. Just not.
As we've said many times before, we're in the good old days. Enjoy.
These are the good old days. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, even if you get the wet dream of some people of going to the Mountain West, never will be like this again. It just won't. This is enjoy this, for all the belly aching about, the games against Murray State are just not close. Well, yeah, it's Murray State. This will surprise you. Every conference has
Michael's on here.
Teams.
Yeah. For real.
Sorry.
Indiana State.
Mike. Indiana State. I Freudian slip. I was thinking Indiana State.
There's a reason the Big Ten is fine with Purdue and Northwestern and all those teams. You want to have wins in your conference. You have a ton of good games. You should want some games that you can count on for wins.
And at risk of making another person a satellite member of JI Mad, you think if we join the Mountain West, we're not just going to take belt to ass of Colorado State every year?
Right. I mean, yeah, there's always going there's bad matchups. No kidding, man. Like to Timothy's point, it's not good to have 1 through 10 be top 10 teams. You get to the playoffs, you're going to be battered, broken, and not able to play ball, and you'll have 5 top 10 teams not making the playoffs minimum. It's just
Crazy.
Anyways, but no, these are the good old days. On my pick, it will be hugely important that this is the craziest crowd ever. I'm basing that off of if you're like me and you've just been snorting marker week content like you're just straight cocaine, just addicted and just hammering mainlining that shit. Every person not SDSU related that you listen to about this game is, oh my God, NDSU is so good. They're so good. They're so good at this. They're so good at this. They're so good at this. And then it's SDSU is really good, but and I'm not saying that's unfounded either. That's not what I'm getting at here. I'm getting at what this rivalry is. It is very, very rarely a blowout, and I think that's what causes, because everybody talks like that, and then they go, it's going to be a really good game, it's going to be a really close game, because that's the nature of this game. And this is the game that shapes your entire season going forwards. And the crowd better act like it, by God. Whether Chase is the quarterback, Marble's the quarterback, the crowd will be a huge factor in this game. So I think that's hugely important. That being said, it's not super common for this to be a 3-point game. They're all close games usually, but 3 points is pretty rare. You go back through, let's say we'll start at 2018, 21-17, 44-21, 23-16, 27-17, 27-19, 23-21, 45-21, 33-16, 13-9, 28-21. There's one 3-point game.
What was that second 2022 score again?
45-21. It happens to be my favorite favorite number in the world.
Mine too.
So, I love that. That's my favorite combination. It's definitely not my pin number on anything. But looking at this game, I think it's really going to be a classic SDSU or marker game. It just is. It's going to be one where it's going to be at the end of the game, team that wins pops a touchdown late in the game that puts it away, whether it's a tie and then they pop a touchdown, or they're down 4 or they're up 3. I think it's just the nature of this game. It's the way it's going to go. If it wasn't in Brookings, I would be really concerned. I still am concerned. Cole Payton is a lot to handle. Offensively, the rushing yards and just overall statistics, unless they play the whole game like they've played some of the recent second halves, I'm very, very concerned about this game. God, I have a hard time picking this one, because I think whoever wins by 4 to 7 points.
It was 3.5, or we're using
3.5.
DraftKings had a line out already at 4.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we got to stay consistent. We're going to go 3.5.
Yeah, we'll go 3.5 on this one.
I had seen a couple other official books actually had 3.5 as well earlier.
There you go. Okay.
To be honest, I expected this game to be at like 6 when it came out. That's kind of what I expected it to open at, especially with Chase being hurt. It's kind of what I thought with the way everybody loves NDSU, despite not having played a real defense yet. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take NDSU to cover. Barely. It's gonna be like 4 points, and I'm gonna hate it forever. But that, and when I pick us to cover, we've never played well. So
I would say not surprised, but you have picked SDSU quite a bit this year, so I can't say anything this year.
I will 100% say it. This is a superstition pick, because every game I've picked us, everybody, it's just been more of a struggle than it should have been. So
he's back to the well. I love it.
I'm back to myself.
Love it. Well, if you listen to the B team, I gave away my pick. I said that SDSU is going to win. So obviously I'll say that they'll cover 3.5 points. But to reiterate what I talked about on the B team, I think that the key is going to be NDSU relying on big plays and our defensive backs creating a turnover or two on that, and us grinding them down with the run game. I think our best run game yet, and I think Eidsness is going to have some creativity. It's going to give him some problems. So I'll take SDSU to cover 3.5 and win.
The Models got the Bison by 1 point, so it is barely going to take SDSU to cover. Obviously, the big question no one's talked about is, well, I guess we have a little bit. So who's going to start at quarterback for us? As much as, honestly, the person who probably made me feel the most like we have a shot in this was listening to Tim Polasek this week. He was super complimentary.
If he wasn't NDSU's coach, I would love that guy.
He was super complimentary of the defense. He says it's, just as good, if not better than last year's. The wide receiver room's clearly better. And he said he liked a lot of what he saw out of Marble. Granted, is he going to be the type of guy to put out bulletin board and say to the contrary? Probably not. But I just don't understand how we can shorten this game without the +1 run game, the way we've run the ball this year. And even if Chase plays and he's hampered, I don't know that we get the full effect of the +1 run game. So I got to go. I got to make up some picks. I got to go with my head, not my heart here. I will take the Bison to win by probably 7-10.
One thing, if you want, and I'm sorry, Tim, because I know Timothy, I know you've been dying. I've been able to hear in your voice, and this is just me being a wiener, since the start of the season, you've wanted to pick this game. So, two things that are of real concern that I don't think anybody's talked about, because the whole thing, the whole mantra has been is Chase healthy, is Chase healthy. The number one concern is kicking game. That's going to be huge. Yeah. And we've been, to be frank, terrible at kicking. I mean, you want a reason you lose by 3.5 points, the kicking game's it. And number two, that I have not heard mentioned by anybody, and the only thing that made me think about it was Matt Frazee on the B team saying, hey, how do you think Coach Jackson's going to handle this, all that stuff. And then Coach Jackson in his presser and in his coach's show talking about having to educate guys on the history of this, because you have so many new guys. Those guys have to be ready for what this game is. And you've got a lot of new guys playing who have never experienced what the Dakota marker is. And it sounds over the top to say, but it is a different animal than any game you will play for the rest of the year. In this, the physicality, the emotions, how badly you want to win, and you've got a bunch of guys who haven't experienced that. That is something that concerns me. If you don't come out ready, strapped up for this game, you don't get hit in the mouth. You get like Iron Man suit in the Hulk suit pummeling you in the face in this game if you don't come out ready. And that's a bit of a concern for me. That, and just the mantra of it's just another game, which I know in the past sometimes it's been built up too much, but I do worry about that when you've got a bunch of people new to this game and then treating it like it's just another game. So that's my 2 cents. So go ahead.
I think we've got enough guys that have been here through NDSU games that will inform the guys of what it's going to be like. And thank goodness it's in Brookings. Like you said, you alluded to before how important it being in Brookings is. And I really hope that our crowd brings the energy and makes that the difference, because it can be. And, I think everybody would agree that if this game is in NDSU, I don't think anybody's picking SDSU to win that game at this point in the season. But with it in Brookings, I do have some faith. So, Timothy, with that, why don't you give us your take on the marker game?
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate it. I could probably talk for the next like 30 to 40 minutes. The amount
Do it.
that I've been thinking about this game. We'll see. We'll see how long this goes. I want to start by though, like, not just because I'm on with you guys. This is truly more of a core football belief. Man, this is so much better that it's in Brookings. Like, and that it's at night. It's outside. It's at night. Like, I'm so much more like, just as a viewer, I'm more amped for this game because it's outside at night. Like, that is what that's what football is supposed to be.
You can probably still find a ticket to Sioux Falls. Come on up.
We got room and board covered for you.
Listen, my wife was kind enough to let me record for several hours tonight.
Bring the whole gang.
3 kids in the house under 4 years old, so 4 years and under. So I don't think I could quite push her that far. But one day, we'll definitely need to come out. But no, yeah. So I'm super excited for that part of it. Man, it's interesting. Like I've definitely gone back and forth. There's a reason why a lot of people are, going to be climbing on the NDSU bandwagon. Part of it is just that they won it last year, right? Like, and like, let's be honest, like, it's not that, I mean, they won the championship last year, but I mean, it was an even team with South Dakota State. It's not like you guys could have won either of those games. And, clearly they've got the program going. Polisick's been there. They have been dominant though. Like offensively, they're putting up some, incredible numbers, some ridiculous numbers. What Cole Payton has been doing in the passing game, specifically down the field is ridiculous. It's a really, really talented receiving core that they have. Not just Bryce Lance, but some of the tight ends they have are very good as well. But on the other hand, I mean, you mentioned it, and I put it in the breakdown article that I put up on the website, which you should go check out if you haven't. Have they played a good defense yet? And like, we could say that USD's defense is fine, but this is clearly and obviously a step up, and it's going to be on the road in an environment they haven't played in yet this year. And like, honestly, Cole Payton hasn't played in an environment this year, not as a starting quarterback. How's he going to react to that? Well, we haven't seen it yet. I don't know if that's something that I've heard anybody talk about. This is going to be his first time in like a legit, like, the crowd's going to be loud. Is the play call coming in well? Are you communicating well with your offensive line, the protections, the receivers, all that? And then I do think South Dakota State's defense is built. If you were going to build a defense to kind of mitigate what NDSU does, you probably do build SDSU's defense. NDSU hasn't been great running the ball either. They've hit more explosive runs, so their like yards per carry looks better. But I would argue, I mean, if you dug into it, I would imagine their success rate is pretty similar running the ball. Like, it hasn't always been smooth. And I think you've seen that occasionally. They've occasionally struggled in some short yardage stuff when they're not using Cole Payton. And so can SDSU build the shell? And then I think the most important thing is that Cole Payton kills teams when he breaks the pocket. He just does. Illinois State played well, but they had no chance of taking him down. The 3 linebackers they're going to be everything in this game, whether it's, what they can do in coverage, but it's not going to be a situation where you have one guy spying, but it is going to be a situation where, hey, you're sitting in your zone and you got to be ready. So whether it's McShane, Ullman, Van Tol, like, those are the guys you'd want, right? Tracking down a big mobile quarterback. So like, what does that look like? Can they keep that to a minimum? Can they ramp up the pressure, in key moments? Man, there's a lot of thoughts, but another big one, I think, like, this is big for the coaching staffs, right? Both of these coaches are aggressive on 4th down. Both of them like to go, you reach the 40-yard line on your side and it's live to go for it. And both of those coaches are going to do it. And in a game like this, if you don't get it, like, that could turn the entire result of the game. And so those decisions will be key for Dan Jackson and for Tim Polasek. Not only that, but like, do you nail the play call? It's a lot of interesting things like that. I could keep going, but here's what I really think the game will end up coming down to. I hope that Chase plays. I hope he's all right. But whether or not he plays, I do think it's, are you going to be able to stay ahead of the chains? And that's running the ball, but it's also passing the ball, right? I mean, the intermediate passing game, with Alex Bullock and Goring and those guys have really been what's been successful. So can you, on 2nd and 6 and 3rd and 4, be able to, complete those balls and move the chains? And I think a big part of that will be, are you going to keep pressure off the quarterback? And are you going to take sacks, or are you going to make plays out of that? Looking at stuff like Chase has been really good. What he hasn't been good at is when pressure comes, he's just not getting out of it. Like, he's the worst quarterback in the Valley, and pressure's turning into sacks. So like percentage of pressure you get turning into a sack, which I think a big part of that is he doesn't want to turn it over. Like, he didn't want to throw an interception. He wants to take care of the ball, which is great. But if he's in there, he's going to have to be able to take more risks, which, with the foot, will he be able to? But like, you can't be so scared to turn the ball over that you end up in 2nd and 14 and 3rd and 15. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have to do a better job than he has so far of either finding a way to escape out of the pocket or kind of, you say, being, brave enough. He's going to have to be brave enough to trust his arm and fire something in there. And those are going to be the kind of plays that end up making the difference.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Not only for him to make those plays, but SDSU, you've got to limit. You can't let him have 3 or 4 60, 40, 50-yard touchdowns. You've got to stop those plays and make them earn it in the red zone, because red zone, they haven't been firing on all cylinders, scoring touchdowns the whole time.
I don't know that you can let him have one, Brendan. I mean, honest to God.
It's going to depend on how much of a premium points are at.
I mean, look at last year in the marker game, though. We didn't give up one, and we still lose 13-9. Granted, there were some things with the offense there we completely crap the bed. But
right.
You go to the playoffs and you give up a couple of those big balls, and we kind of, that and the turnover, we had a game in hand, and it's cliche football. And Timothy and I were kind of laughing in Twitter DMs earlier today because there's this stat going around. It's like, the team that's won the time of possession in the 22 matchups since they went D1 has won 21 of them. It's like, yeah, no duh, because all time of possession is doing is measuring your series conversion rate, your 3rd down percentage, your 4th down percentage, and turnovers. But to that point, that's something we've talked about, the 3rd and 4th down stuff, the series conversion rate stuff, turnovers, stealing a possession, especially when you're the underdogs like the Jacks, or at least not giving NDSU an extra possession, is huge. Because, just to be frank, in my opinion, I think in this game, if you look at the offenses and the explosiveness, big playability, NDSU can give us one and still eke out a close one. If we give them one, we're done. I think that is just the cold, hard fact of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, right? Like, I don't know. There's so many little moments in these games, right? Because like, there's also like, okay, could you come up with a goal line stand? Like, could you
which is as good as a turnover, right?
Yeah, well, exactly, right. And then all of a sudden, the entire momentum of that, shifts back, which is why I do think it's so important that South Dakota State is able to put together long drives, like, and however they're able to do that, they just have to do it, because all of that, what that does is it just puts more pressure on the NDSU offense. Because if you're going to say, hey, you're only going to get the ball 8 times this game, all of a sudden now, we factor in the crowd. We factor in, the first big road start of Cole Payton's career. All of that becomes a bigger factor when there's more pressure on you to score right away. Or I should say, to score every time you have the ball. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think NDSU is going to be really aggressive defensively. I think they're going to bring a lot of pressure. I think they're not going to necessarily I like what you guys have at receiver, but not in a way outside of Lofton Ogroski of like, hey, I'm going to go beat a DB one-on-one or like win a bunch of contested balls. I think they're going to say, listen, we're going to bring pressure a lot. Chase has not been very good throwing against pressure. They're going to blitz a lot. They're going to play games, and they're going to try to take control of the game that way. We could keep going. I won't keep it. I won't keep breaking this down, but I'm going to take. Oh, sorry, Brendan. Go ahead.
The only one who would be sad is Ben.
And me, I got to record again tonight. So,
yeah,
I got to keep going. But I'll just say I think there are as I look at it, there's too many factors pushing it toward NDSU for me. But I'm not going to be shocked if SDSU is able to pull it off. Like I could see them really frustrating this NDSU team that really hasn't had to deal with adversity yet. So I'm going to pick NDSU by 7 or 10. I could see it going in a lot of different ways though.
It is interesting. I haven't heard the narrative of Cole Payton's first big road game, but it's true. I mean, it's obviously he was a part of the team before, but his first big road start, and it's going to should be a raucous environment in Brookings. So we'll see how he handles it. I couldn't be more excited. And we better, especially if you got another podcast to record tonight, I got to put kids to bed. So Timothy, thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it. We had to have a guest like you on during marker week, so we really appreciate it. And everybody go follow what Timothy does. His Twitter handle is at Timothy _Rosy, ROSY. And so go follow him. Go follow what him and Zach do over at Blue Bloods, FCS Football Central. And thanks again for being on.
Appreciate it, guys. That was a ton of fun.
Awesome.
That was a blast. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Well, with that, hopefully everybody's wearing blue on Saturday and being loud. Like Jim says, like we always say, go big, go blue, go Jack.
Go
Go
Jacks.
Jacks.